Everybody, what's up? What's up? What's up? Of course, it's your boy DJ Spot of the Don. We are live right now. It's a special day.
Yeah.
It's, of course, Thursday Night School. We are back, baby.
Yes, sir.
So how you doing? How's everybody doing? We got two other people here. It's very rare. We have two other people in the building. First off, what's up to LLK Soul?
What's good? How y'all doing tonight?
He's a local hip-hop artist, man. Duval County representative, of course.
Duval, not no fool. Shout out to the boys, UNB. You heard?
Oh, shit, he just dropping acronyms. We endorse no gangs here, fam.
Keep up with the lingo, please.
No gangs here, fam.
Yeah.
And we got our boy Ninja. What's up?
Yo, this boy Ninja. What's going on? Representing hip-hop in the streets from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
PR in the building. What's good, man? If you don't know, he also works here at Valencia College with us. Like, we're all vendors here, I guess we can say.
Yeah.
And tell him about a little bit more about. We each gonna give you each time to tell you a little bit more about what you do. But of course, Soul is our hip hop guest. Of course, a rapper extraordinaire, downtown hip hop artist. We spitting hot mics on fire. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Of course, let me stop getting hyped. Ninja, tell him what you do.
Well, I produce a show. It's called Hip Hop in the Streets. And this show, we show everything about the hip hop culture. It's graffiti artists, MCs, DJ, B-boys. I'm actually a B-boy. I'm called B-boy Ninja.
Dope.
Top rock. All right, okay.
Yep. And that's how I started doing the show, the Hip Hop in the Streets show. As a B-boy, I was interested in showing to other people, and Facebook gave you the tool to do it. So we started 6 years ago. We started doing the hip hop in the street shows, and everybody loved it because we were doing interviews for the b-boys, for the MCs, and there's a big local hip hop scene for the artists. Not mainstream.
Yeah, big facts.
And it's crazy big in Puerto Rico. So we started doing the show. Everybody loved it. And now we're here in Florida trying to bring it out here to Florida.
That's what's up. I just walked into the studio. He was here. I heard Spanish hip hop music playing. I only know a couple words here and there. My girlfriend's Puerto Rican, so I'll be trying to learn. Everyone's talking Spanglish to me and shit. So I got, cinco. I heard 5. Yeah. So definitely, it's dope to have people of multiple cultures. This is what hip hop is: multiple cultures, multiple places. Trinity, of course, Trinidad. He's from Trinidad.
Yes, sir.
So hip hop and soca music and island music is always fused, especially here in Florida. Definitely big influence here. So once again, everybody, it's Thursday Night School. My host DJ
Trini D. They call me Trini D. Oh man, I'm in the corner, but don't worry, I'm still alive today. We had to get a nice little intro going, but thank y'all for tuning in. This is Thursday Night School, man. Shouts to my homie DJ Spider, of course. Had to introduce him, of course.
Thank
for
you
those of y'all
much.
who forgot. But yeah, thank you both for coming tonight. We got a lot of hip hop stuff to cover too. We're gonna get into a little bit of y'all too, because we want to find out about some Orlando music and Orlando artists.
Big facts. So first off, are y'all caught up in the news? Y'all be keeping up with hip hop news?
I'm a little. You're
hip hop in the streets, fam.
He way probably more
hip hop. You're supposed to be translating the news.
True.
Yeah, listen, I know about a lot about hip hop in Spanish community.
Okay, that's real.
That's the big difference. In English is different for me.
Okay, we'll let you slide. So what we gonna talk about first, man?
We got a bunch of news, man. First and foremost, just one of the biggest records is we talked about a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's just a nice pop kind of hip hop record,
Yeah.
but everybody loves it, man. Mr. Lil Nas X's Old Town Road.
Finally, what did what?
It went diamond.
Diamond. First song to go diamond in 2019.
That's huge.
Overall,
That's
all
huge.
genres.
That's huge.
And let's be real, guys. Remember early 2000s, like Nelly went diamond. Ja Rule went diamond. It felt like every other week there was artists going diamond.
Yeah, that was a big thing back then.
Like nowadays, it's like a unicorn.
Yeah, it's hard.
So it's
rare.
like, did y'all really? Is that a big milestone to y'all? How y'all feel about him going, especially him going diamond, and definitely, what does that mean for hip hop to you? So who wants to answer first?
One thing, shout out to that boy Lil Nas X for going diamond. That's a big accomplishment. You can't be mad at that regardless of if you like the song or not. You feel me?
Haters.
Somebody had to like it. Like a lot of people had to like the song enough for it to go diamond. And I can't really say where it's leading for hip hop exactly, because like I said, it's a country song as well. So it's like one of them fusions at the same time. It's like it's what hip hop is. You know, it's a little accumulation of different, you know, cultures and styles. So it's one little pop song that went diamond, and hey, he can show love for it. But other than that, ain't much I really can say on it.
I gotta say, you said back in the days, a lot of people used to go diamond all the time.
Yeah.
Now it's different because you got the internet. And
Exactly.
I don't know if it kills it or
I can see both sides, right? Because you see it's more accessible, but also like we mentioned last episode, like the streaming kind of services are wonky with they're wonky with how they count a record sale.
Yeah.
We mentioned last week that each streaming service has their own verifiable number that counts as a record. So Tidal doesn't match up to SoundCloud. SoundCloud doesn't match up to Spotify. Spotify is not the same as iTunes.
Yeah.
So, which is weird. You have the RIAA. You have people who are like official BMI, ASCAP kind of people who don't step in and say, yo, this is what an album sale is. There's no real one equivalent across the board, which is really weird. But like you're saying, like it's a weird thing. Like you think as much as accessible music is, that there'll be a more even playing field, kind of.
right.
Yeah. But there isn't. Yeah. I mean, he got a point. It's really the internet, and like we talked about it last week when Napster hit. I mean, like that kind of messed up everybody for getting record sales.
Shoot, I was
so.
getting it for free.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah.
I remember being just literally at that switch to where people were buying CDs, were buying records, were buying like vinyls. DJs were buying promo CDs and like trying to get the hottest records out and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden Napster hit, and within not even 3-4 years,
no matter the audio quality.
Yeah, it don't matter. Like people just wanted it for free because that was crazy that you could get it for free. Like, and still to like this day they try to sell you music until the streaming services came. So once the streaming services came, man, like selling records is not a thing. So I think it's cool. I think it's huge. I mean, like you said, like them or not, like that's a fun record. Like everybody loves that Old Town Road record, man. You know, like
From the young to the old.
Yeah, like the kids love it. Yeah, like
culture.
there's so many like little kids that be singing it, and then it goes into the country culture and all that stuff. Like Billy Ray Cyrus, he's a legend too. So. I mean, he's got diamond records though.
He has one big diamond record that's still going diamond multiple times.
Hey, that icky breaky heart, man.
Yeah, it's still going. But I one thing, since we have Ninja here, you know, I know in the Latin music scene, the Latin music world is still, not to sound weird, it's still kind of really insular. It's its own thing. So how do you think, how does streaming still a problem over there? Are they still able to sell physical copies in Puerto Rico? What's the on the ground kind of feel of that music scene?
Well, the underground scene grew up crazy big with the Latin community. Let's talk a little bit about Nash. He's from Spain, and right now he's the top cat for hip hop in Spanish. He's been right now he was nominated for Grammy Award, and to make a difference, I think it helped a lot to, like people like him. He got signed by Sony. Nash got signed by Sony in Sony in Spanish.
Yeah.
In Spain. And following him, there's a lot of other rappers coming up. And not to talk about Vico C, which was the first one to take it globally. And he's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Is he doing traditional hip hop or is he doing reggaeton? What's his?
No, Vico C was always traditional hip hop from the get go.
Okay.
Because he took it. I'm talking about back in 85, 90.
Yeah.
That he was already killing it in Latin America.
Shoot.
Because he took it from New York, from the streets of New York, and he brought it out to the world in Spanish.
Wow.
That's crazy. We don't even think. I think that's one story missing in hip hop entirely.
Yeah.
When you think of hip hop in America, we just think of the Bronx.
Yeah, that's true.
Then California, then what's after Atlanta, then Florida. Like we think of the traditional roadmap of America. I think hip hop in America has done itself a disservice in its legacy by not understanding how it went everywhere else.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody outside of Puerto Rico knows in 1985 there was a guy killing it down there.
Yeah. Like everybody in Latin community, they know Vico C. You mentioned that name. He actually lives here in Orlando.
Oh,
Shout out.
snap, that's crazy.
Shout out.
That's crazy.
We got legends here.
We got legends here.
You still got Shaq.
So it's like I was telling you before, the hip hop grew up in the ghettos in New York. So Latin community like Colombia, Chile, Venezuela, it's also a big ghetto. So the people embraced the hip hop, and they took it to another. Right now, the boom bop, they still doing boom bop, and the beats they be making. The b-boys like Lil G from Venezuela, he's killing it right now in the Red Bulls event.
Yeah. Red Bull 3 Style's coming up, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So all DJs, if you're really a DJ, you keep track of Red Bull 3 Style. Keep going, brother.
That's
No
so
fake DJs out here.
you said boom bap, so like they're still doing kind of like old school like hip hop type of beats, or like
They still doing the old school boom bop.
yeah.
But they took it to a whole nother level.
Okay.
Because they never stopped doing it.
Yeah. They just
And
innovated it, I guess.
Don't get me wrong, they're doing trap right now. They're
Of
using
course.
trap.
Yeah.
And they also killing it in trap like
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
And
That's
Wild.
the best examples. Yeah.
exactly. But the boom bap and like Latin community, it's crazy.
Because
For
that's
me-
what I want to hear. You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah, for me, boom bap always got a place in my heart. Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Just,
yeah.
that smooth,
But it's also
that
like
old school real rap. dude.
you
agree.
also kind of realize in boom bap how limited everything is, but how creative you have to be with those limited.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Limited-
It's so simple. You gotta your creativity, like the complexity, gonna lie within you. Like if you want to
Exactly.
make that song hot, you gotta be hot with it. And it's
Absolutely, and that's why I'm like, I want to hear a Latin artist on there. 'Cause
Right.
That's a mix that I've never really heard too much. So
Exactly.
I'll play something for you later. You let me know.
hell yeah,
Nah,
man,
like
hell yeah.
like literally before the show, I walked in here like, oh snap, oh shit, they're speaking in Spanish. Shit, they rap. Like so, it's like it's one of them things. Like when you like as we're getting exposed to hip hop culture, like is going platinum in those Spanish markets. Is that still a very hard? I know what you said. It's still different, but I figure like the Latin hip hop community is so tight knit. Is going platinum still as hard as it is in major mainstream, even as tight knit as it is?
They are. Like for example with Bad Bunny that you mentioned, he's doing trap. It's Latin hip hop, and they're all over the place. Like the other day, I was listening to radio station here that they only play hip hop in English, but
Yeah.
they ended up playing Bad Bunny and what's the other guy, Daddy Yankee.
Daddy Yankee, yeah.
And I was so surprised. I was like, whoa, they're taking it to another level. They doing their thing.
Dope.
That's good. So LLK, man, LLK Soul, excuse me, right?
There you go. Get his name right.
LLK Soul. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
he called me so. You know what I mean?
Oh, so now we got an
It's just a
official
form-
invite.
It's
The
all good.
official invite has been extended, guys.
All right, I mean, it's just for the moniker. You put on my tombstone, LLK Soul.
I like it.
But-
I love the moniker. You talk about boom bap and how like it just resonates. Is that the type of music that you be funking to and making, or like you be making something else? or-
I mean, for me, like I used to hop heavy on the boom bap. Like when I first started out, 'cause it's just one of them. I guess it's like training wheels, you would say, for when you start off as a rapper. I don't say for me personally, that's how it was. But now, I'm trying to, step out of my shell a little bit. So I'm kind of like trying to innovate here and there in different styles. Like I don't really fall too much in the trap nowadays.
Yeah.
So I kind of keep it a little old school, but still trying to, maintain a level of creativity where it's, not the same, but it's still a little something different to it. And like I've been hearing, positive feedback from my work. A lot of people say, my flow is different. They never heard something like that before. So
Dope.
if I'm doing good, if they say they like it, then I'm doing something good, right? Doing something.
That's
But
good.
other than
That's
that,
good.
So let me ask both of y'all, because I'm kind of getting the feel for both of y'all that y'all both into like this boom bap kind of like old school hip hop kind of beat flow, and that's good because I'm right on the same part. That's like it resonates with me. Reminds me back in like banging on the trash can days and like school.
Lunchroom
making
table,
beats.
fam.
Yeah.
Ain't got no bars except at the lunchroom table.
You know what I mean? Having your boy just spit and just having other people come in and spit like that. That's the real old school hip hop days. So like, how do y'all feel with the trap movement kind of taking over after that? Because y'all know trap music's been the game in hip hop for like 10 years plus. So how do y'all think? Because that was the wave, obviously 90s, maybe early 2000s, and then trap took over for like 10, 15 years. So how do y'all feel? Even in the Latin community, you mentioned Bad Bunny. Like it took Bad Bunny to come out in trap music for that type of music to come out. So how do y'all feel like how strong that trap music has came in?
I mean, it came strong. Like I don't dislike trap music. I like trap music. You feel me? I guess it gets to a certain point where it's just what I say, saturated
I
with
agree.
trap. That pretty much the game is, or the industry.
Well, that's just the mainstream portion.
I mean, yeah.
Now,
Like
when we think about the mainstream portion, it's just literally the top crust.
basically, it's like
It's what they're putting on
out.
TV. It's what's on the radio. The same. I work in radio. Like the same 25 songs, all gonna be of one or two different styles. Then everything else is just the crumbs underneath, and then the real meat of the bread. So, so like when you're saying that, I get it. Like you don't dislike it, but you know it's ever present.
Right, pretty much, and it's just like. I don't really, because of that, I don't really follow a lot of the mainstream industry, artists that nowadays. I used to be heavy into it coming up in like high school when I started off and everything like that.
You was in the snap music movement? You was snapping and rolling, bro?
That was I'm talking about like my early inspiration more like, K-Dot, early, Chance when they was hungry for, coming up. So, like I was into all they early takes, the whole discography, you know what I mean? Like Section 80, like I used to bump on all that stuff on the heavy. So it's like, nowadays, I can't even come across the artist where like I want to get that deep into him. You know what I mean? Like, everything seems so surface level when it comes to the art, where like nobody's really giving me that inspiration. I mean, a lot. I'm talking more for like I would say mainstream or more the known artists like that. Like a lot of underground artists, that's probably doing a big thing. You know what I mean? Coming up, not just in Orlando, but in this nation in general. But it's like at the same time, I don't listen to them that much. Because I say it's kind of like competition. You know what I mean?
Man,
like I try. You keep
your enemies.
You keep checking your competition, but you don't really, try to focus too much.
Okay.
You gotta try to stay in my lane. In a sense, you know what I mean?
I'll let you slide with that, bro.
So like, I'm aware that out there, and I don't give everybody they're a bad credit, or I try to give everybody the credit when it's due. But at the same time, I'm not really focused on like what's all that's out there. I'm trying to maintain my own lane and try build up my craft as itself, as a whole. But
all right. Ninja, what you got for us, brother? Answer the question, sir. It was posed to you.
Well, I see. Ain't trap like an extension of hip hop?
It is
absolutely.
It definitely
I think it still counts as hip hop.
Yeah, it does. But here's coming from, I guess, trap, since it's a southern thing. It was our version of the boom bap that turned into a different grimier style. So trap, the natural trap elements are still of a boom bap nature, but they added more a southern jazz or southern blues add element to it to add that more deeper bass that you get, because the bass is the most important thing in trap music, really. If you don't have that hard bass, as opposed to like the snare and kick, that bass is what makes it different. That drag makes it different. That pace makes it different. So it is, like you're saying, it definitely is an extension, of course.
Yeah. So I see it like an extension, and that way I love evolution. So everything evolves.
True.
And you can't be against that. Everything that evolves by itself. And the trap, I love the trap. They also doing a lot of Latin trap songs,
which I love that the innovation there.
Actually, Latin trap started in Puerto Rico as like all bad words. Talking about women.
Dang.
Talking about being with women.
That sounds like how trap
our
evolved.
Yeah, that sounds very similar.
That's exactly how it started. But nowadays, with the Latin community embracing it, it's more about they're doing a lot of messages.
Yeah.
Nice.
So now they're throwing out there the messages with the trap. And to me, I love it. Actually,
that's perfect.
My personal opinion, I love it. I listen to it. Sometimes I try to rap to those beats.
Yeah.
And it's evolution, man.
Okay.
You can't stop evolution.
If you didn't know, Ninja's also a breakdancer. So as far as a dancer, how are you evolving?
Yeah.
How does breakdancing evolve with trap music?
Good question.
Has it gotten to that point yet?
Because you can't top rock. You can't
everybody do
headspin.
break the Chris Brown moves.
Like,
you know what I'm
it's,
saying?
It's hard to do that to trap music, though.
Well, I'll even put it this way. Sorry to interrupt before you get to that question.
Yeah.
Memphis, which is the heart of trap music.
Yes.
They have a style of dancing called Memphis juking, which is the footwork part of. It's a footwork movement, and then they add a little bit of top rock to it. There's no floor work. It's just mostly footwork and upper body kind of movement. So there is, of course, dance is always going to be a part of hip hop. But as a traditional break dancer, like, how are you seeing dancing in this trap music world? I know you got the catchy whoa whatever, but that's not really the type of dance that you do, as opposed to a traditional break dancer or just traditional finding ways to move within that music.
I'll let you know, it's evolution again, because right now they doing a lot of battles. You know about crumping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crumping is something that they use for trap a lot.
Yeah.
And crumping.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Crumping is an evolution from dancing, street dancing.
Yeah.
Break dance or anywhere. And so nowadays they doing a lot of competitions. They call it all styles, and in this all styles battles, you see very little break dance.
Yeah.
And you see more. They be dancing up and like upper body.
Yeah.
They do go down to the floor, and they crazy when they go. Actually, just a few months ago, it was Red Bull Dance Your Style.
Wow.
And in this battle, the winner, I think it was from Europe, and they were playing trap music, they were playing all kinds of music. But for the b-boy part, we stood like aside, and we kept doing our thing with our music.
So you do definitely do more to the break beats, more to the
We
boom
still
bap
look more
stuff.
exactly. Like for example, if you're gonna go to a b-boy battle, all you're gonna hear is gonna be like boom bap, but to another tempo, up the tempo, like Lords of the Underground. You still hear those kind of things.
Because I was gonna say when I
B-boy
picture b-boy battles, I picture like Planet Rock, like rock, Planet Rock. I picture some
high energy stuff.
Yeah, some
They
real
play
old
the
school.
floor type stuff,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
What happened with those type of those things? They got the dancers to dance to that. The dancers didn't choose to that. Planet Rock, you're paying us for this, right? Okay, good.
Planet Rock, you'll hear it still in
Yeah.
a b-boy competition, but it's got to be like a what's it called? Pop
lock.
and locking.
Oh yeah,
competition.
Yeah.
Like rock,
You will hear
yeah.
something like Planet Rock.
I got you. That's interesting, man. You say that word a lot, evolution. I really agree with you on that. Like you just gotta appreciate the wave that hip hop is getting into. You gotta appreciate and just if you're a fan of hip hop, you're a fan of trap regardless.
Yeah.
So I like that, man. That's a real interesting.
I think
term.
one thing I'm loving just because of this conversation is that the evolution part is you're showing that mindset. A lot of old school, I won't say old school people, but a lot of people who are stuck in that time warp. Like I'll tell you about my boy Miles. He's 20 years old. Oh, fuck this trap shit. All I'll do is boom bap, man.
20 years old.
20 years
He
old.
wasn't even born in boom bap
Yeah,
era.
but when you're that old and you get a feature from Jadakiss on your beats, so you're gonna go back with whatever happens.
So you just boom
He's
bap
like,
all day for
He's
life.
like, boom bap. Oh, Jadakiss, you want this beat? I'll do it every time. So like, I think one thing we gotta keep in mind is like, as hip hop is growing, that's the only reason why hip hop's been able to stay alive this long. Just the evolution mindset, the creativity switching over, people fighting for this this movement to go forward. And I tell people all the time when I ever have a discussion about music, music has always been a thing of growth and then restriction, growth, restriction, growth, restriction.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're going to get that stuff like, when everything kind of coalesces into a certain sound, that's a good sign because that means everybody's fighting for we're trying to sound good, trying to sound together. But then what's going to happen is someone's going to fight to push it. Someone's going to resist, and then that's going to into a jailbreak. So we're coming up for another jailbreak, guys.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Yeah, I mean, trap's been the way for.
Will hit us what?
Trust me, it's coming.
I mean, like I thought the SoundCloud wave was gonna take over for a while, but it was the SoundCloud wave.
That was the jailbreak.
Yeah, it wasn't a jailbreak; it was a wave. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah, there's gonna be another. I mean, I don't know. Like it's hard to think of another evolution. You know what I mean? Like when people made like boom bap, they had no idea that trap was gonna come. You know what I mean? Like you had no idea trap was coming. So
Definitely, I definitely. Are you watching the Wu-Tang documentary? Anybody?
on Hulu,
On Hulu?
I need to.
Trust me, you need
I
to.
need to.
I
Yeah. I heard
but
it's
I didn't
great.
get a chance to look at it.
Yeah.
Even in that, you have to saying even in that show, like you see RZA trying to figure out between his first persona was Prince Rakim, whatever, right?
Okay.
And him trying to fit into the bubbly hip hop at that moment that was happening then. The Big L kind of vibe.
The Fresh Prince.
Yeah,
and,
that.
Jazzy
We love
Jeff.
you, Rakim. That type of shit. You can look
Yeah.
up. Like he looks fucking crazy in that first music video with Tommy Boy
And
Records.
is it on? Is it just on Hulu or is it on Netflix?
It's
a
on Hulu.
It's a
It's on
Hulu
Hulu.
series. Yeah. So it's like exclusive.
you see that, and then you see like, yo, this ain't me, and then you see like this going back to like this hard hitting, going back to what made him. So like even back then, they like people were looking like, yo, this ain't hip hop, but that's what people judged that album, that the Enter the 36 Chambers.
Yeah.
That's a holy grail. Like
Yeah, that's a standard of hip hop.
Yeah, and that's
Everybody loves that.
exactly.
God,
so
yeah.
like that was at one point I was like rebellious. Like, what the
That's
is
true.
this?
That's true.
This ain't hip hop, and then it became gold standard.
They also big in the Latin community.
Really?
Yeah.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang. Everybody has their sign, their shirts. Like in Puerto Rico, Wu-Tang is top.
Okay.
Like you talk about Wu-Tang Puerto Rico, it's
All right.
All right, RZA, go do Puerto Rico tour, fam.
Yo, we about to go to Puerto Rico and throw up the who. Yo, all right.
All right.
Yeah,
Who's your
they
favorite?
doing it, man. They got tattoos all over the place.
That's
Wu-Tang
lit.
Clan, like all the hip hopper heads in Puerto Rico, Wu-Tang Clan is their Bible.
Oh, snap, okay.
They probably know shit more than people down in the States now, man.
I'm telling you, from what he's talking to us about, the underground scene in the Latin community is just diehard, bro.
It's good, man. It's great.
And that's one thing we, as an American hip hop, we're gonna get into the other topics. I'm just loving this conversation right here.
Yeah.
And as an American hip hop person, we kind of lose sight. We lose sight of like the elements, the other pillars of hip hop. Like we got graffiti. Some people still do graffiti, but it's not to the height of creativity as it was back then. Some people still do b-boying. Yeah. But actually b-boying is still alive and well, honestly, thanks to Redman.
Okay, in comparison to graffiti, like both of those used to be prominent. Yeah. Graffiti did die down, but let's be real, that's a law thing.
It turned into
let's be real.
I'll be real with you, but graffiti has turned into like art.
People actually do art. Yeah, you know how many people sell their stuff on Instagram now.
Yeah, Banksy's a graffiti artist.
That's the number one standard. Yeah,
Banksy's like a multi-million-dollar selling artist.
But like it's beautiful because actually you bring that up. My barber, he has like a local artist that he knows who makes a bunch of like graffiti like art of like just a bunch of people. Y'all see him every time I go to the barbershop selling them for like $250 a pop. And every time I go to the shop, it's a brand new set. So I'm like, yo, these really selling? He's like, hell yeah, man. So that's how strong that graffiti kind of mindset has resonated. Like people are willing to spend $250 on a local artist just to hang it up. And
Banksy's thing went for millions.
So it's crazy. Yeah, it's evolved. It hasn't, like we just talked about. Yeah, graffiti has not. We're not doing it on walls no more because nobody wants to spend a night in jail. Like,
we ain't hanging off the banners of painting on trains no more. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I feel like the elements of hip hop have been separated, but they've all, like you said, they've evolved into their own thing. But we gotta still point them out and call the hip hop elements of hip hop, man.
Absolutely. All
right, so what we got next, man?
I mean, it's up to you, man. I mean, we talked about Lil Nas X. We got a couple albums that dropped too. What you heard in the music scene, man?
All right. Of course, tonight, midnight, or really, according to him,
it's gonna be tomorrow. Oh man.
Kanye.
Kanyezus.
Oh God, come on, man.
Kanye West
dropping
his new album
King
tomorrow.
So, everybody's hearing that it's going to be somewhat of a gospel. No, I want to give it a contemporary hip hop gospel religious album.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be apparently.
He called hip hop with the devil's music, even though he made multi-million dollars of hip hop. He's Kim Kardashian. Like, I don't like you dressing sexy, but you told me to dress sexy. What are you talking about, Kanye?
Like, you can't tell one of America's biggest sex icons that you don't like the way she's dressing. Like,
especially when you put her in your music videos naked, hugging
This is what she gets paid for. Like, not in an insultive way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and exactly. Literally, in her case,
so much. No matter if it's hip hop or.
Yeah, no, it always does. So, I mean, yeah, he's dropping his album tomorrow. Jesus is King. It's actually dropping because he's got like some IMAX, AMC movie stuff he's doing too. So you can actually go this weekend to tickets to go see this like album debut. I think it's interesting, man. I mean, we're gonna see a new side of Kanye. Kanye's trying to be religious. He came out with Jesus Walks. We talked about this. So
ultralight being so religious,
and he did exactly. So if it's anything like that, times 10, I mean, that would be dope. Even if it's a little bit more tailored down. But I mean, to me, as a diehard Kanye West fan, it's just you have to do something to make people forget about this Trump stuff, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, people haven't forgot about it. Like, if you
haven't forgiven him for it.
If you on Twitter or Instagram, and I mean, I really am not a political person, but like just the way he went about it, I think like he had no explanation for it. It just seems like you need to have an explanation for your fans or something like that. Have your political beliefs. If you're really Republican, a lot of rich people are, but I mean, don't just start wearing these hats in hip hop because nobody else is rocking with you in that.
Or if you wear it, just own it. Don't try to explain it. Just own it.
It's bad. Just don't wear it. How about that?
I'm not going to tell them not to wear it. I feel like if you're going to wear it, own it. say what you got to say and keep it moving.
Well, now that's what I'm saying. If he's
Like-
doing the album Jesus is King, I feel like he's just going super religious now.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like a way to like kind of. It's a good marketing ploy to a sense to get people out of that political.
Do you
mindset.
feel like he's totally bought in, guys? Is this a marketing ploy? Is he totally bought in? Do you think this is? Give him your opinion. Hot takes right now.
I think he's bought in, man. The only reason is because number one, we talked about Jesus walks. Like he's always had that religious background. He's always been
always been
somebody.
But at the
sprinkled
same
in.
time, I think considering his whole little debacle that he's been going through recently within the past couple of years, I feel like this album might be one more of the more release than like you say. I guess Honey Partners pretty much basically just trying to feed us something to forget about what he did with the whole Trump situation. But it might be on a positive note for Kanye. You know, it might be one of those things where he's coming back into realizing who he is, who he was, and just trying to get back to it. You know what I mean, with his album. So. I mean, I haven't heard a real good album from Kanye in a minute, so hopefully this Jesus is King, you know, is actually, you know, what everybody making it out to be, what the hype is about. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's, you know, worth it when you're listening to it.
One thing I love about Kanye is his beats.
Yeah.
He always goes at it with the beats.
Right. Genius.
Even if
Genius
it's
in
not
production
just
skills.
if it's not him doing it, it has to be quality. I think that's what Kanye does. Even if he has some. Jesus was a kind of it's one of his lesser loved albums, but even that album says quality music on it. It just wasn't ready. People weren't ready to receive that music.
Yeah, well, if he's not producing it, he's that guy in the studio that's just like,
Obsessive.
no, put that beat in there, put that beat. I need this, I need that. He's like the director, you know,
Yeah,
Steven
exactly.
Spielberg. I heard for this album though, he is producing the whole thing though. And I mean, it's just a bunch of like, you know, old school choir kind of samples, like with that church and kind of boom bap. So I think it's going to be good. I mean, you brought up a good point with his whole debacle in the past couple years, you know, his whole mental health stuff. I think with that stuff, when you go through it, you could find Jesus. You could really find.
Yeah.
and
He
be
always
back.
drops something in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of religious references.
Absolutely.
Even when you look at Power, the whole imagery of that music video.
Yeah, it was Christ-based and stuff, yeah.
About Christ, it had a lot of symbols of like just religious symbols in general from different religions are all in there.
And like somebody on Twitter found a clip from like his 2013 interview where he was like, he literally said something like, "Man, I just can't wait to quit rap. I'm gonna just do gospel." Like, I think he was just saying it just like
Right.
BSing, but like,
But he's like, yo.
but hey, he just put it in the universe and it actually came in.
It's true, yeah.
So
my question is, have you seen the videos that he had of, I guess he had recorded with the whole choir?
Yeah.
You mean Sunday services?
Yeah, like is that basically the recording for the album, or is that just going? That just
I think
you know,
that's
recordings he decided
one
to
of the
do?
things that he's doing.
I feel like if he putting that on the album, then it
It's
might
lit.
be really fun. Yeah, it's gonna be lit.
But I think
I can
that's
hear
more of a
production
thing for him to really just. That's gonna be a thing that he does from now on.
That's like his tour.
Yeah,
in a sense,
Sunday
you
service
know
is
what
the thing
I
that
mean?
he
That
does.
means his concert pretty
Yeah,
much.
he
Yeah,
did that
yeah.
for
Coachella.
He did that for Howard Homecoming.
He's done this as an album release for this.
Yeah, he did in Chicago.
So I think like he had, like I said, he's doing an IMAX release with it. So like you can go see like the 35-minute album release in IMAX, and I think that's essentially what it is.
Okay, like the Sunday service.
Yeah, like he
Yeah.
filmed like an
Okay.
IMAX like Sunday service, and he's like broadcasting it. So I think that's how you could really get to see it while listening to the album.
I can
So,
like
yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, like I think it's nice, and it's like it's a new Kanye, and I think that it's believable. He's a family man. He got 4 kids now. You know what I mean? Like he could.
four.
Change,
Wait,
changes,
4?
man.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 or something
I
like
think
that.
it's 3.
Three.
It's northwest. It's northwest and Chicago.
Well, you know
Shy.
how that Kardashian family is. He's definitely gonna have 5 at least,
Yeah,
just so they can have keeping up
them
with the
legs busting
Kardashians in the
open,
future.
baby.
keeping up with the West. You know what I'm saying? 20 years from now.
You right.
So I think it's gonna be dope, man. Like I think if you thought Kanye fell off, just give him a chance, and I think everybody will enjoy it.
So he also dropped the track list already on Twitter. There were some leaks of one song. I mean, a song with Nicki Minaj on one version, 2 versions with Nicki Minaj, one version with Ty Dolla $ign, and one version with who was on that? Wasn't Lil Pump. I can't remember. There was another rapper on there. It wasn't Lil Pump.
Well, we'll figure it out. I mean, tomorrow,
But
you know,
it got
it'll
leaked,
drop.
and people are saying that they're not really feeling it.
Yeah, it's a little questionable when you threw in Nicki Minaj, and I was like,
He made her rewrite her verse twice.
Damn.
I heard. I mean, those are also leaks. Okay, like let's be real. Leaks are never.
We don't even know
like prototypes anyway.
Yeah, that's unfinished.
We don't know if it's going to be whatever it's going to be on.
Nah. Kanye's he always has leaks and they're never the final product. Like Kanye, I promise you, was like that producer that he re-edited Life of Pablo like 6 times and it was already on Apple Music.
I hated that.
So,
but give me the final product. If it's out there, it's out there.
I think tomorrow we'll get the final product. Jesus is King, yo. Go check out the AMC. Go check out the album. I think it's gonna be dope.
Since we're on the topic of albums, did any of y'all get a chance to hear these albums that dropped last week? 24 Hours dropped World on Fire. Cash Doll dropped Stacked. Gucci Mane dropped October 2, and G-Eazy dropped Scary Nights. Any of y'all heard any of those albums?
Not at
For
all.
the first week, I didn't listen to any albums over the weekend.
Not at all.
No.
So I think what we get tomorrow will probably dominate my weekend to have a review on. Definitely, I'll probably do an Instagram review. I'm probably going to let that Instagram review out. But I think everybody's waiting for this. Everybody's been waiting for this album for over a year and a half now. Like he hasn't put anything out besides the 7th song from last year, and that wasn't even that good.
Yeah.
Like the last albums I probably say I listened to was like the Babies and Young M.A's album. Like which is actually surprisingly good. Young M.A's
album was
killed
dope.
it. That
Yo,
shit
bars.
was hard, bro.
Just start straight bars all
that
day.
Shit was hard.
Like if you want to go to the gym and just like knock out a good set, listen to that Young M.A. album. I promise you.
That
like,
energy on that. We got some bangers on that.
Yeah, Wale's album was okay.
For Lauren. Yeah.
Jeez, I used to fuck with Wale heavy back in the day, but like he's been MIA for the longest that I haven't really been paying attention.
He's been inconsistent, fam.
well, inconsistent like a motherfucker, but it's like I haven't really got a chance. I didn't even know he even dropped the album. Like when did he drop it?
The week before last week.
Week before that. What's the name of it?
Wow, that's crazy.
WOW.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Oh, all right.
Literally, that's the name of his album.
All right. I thought you were like, I'm gonna have to check it out.
I'm not being sarcastic. That's what he called it.
He's saying the album name.
that's cool. But yeah,
wow,
so
it's crazy. He's back.
So when we hit everybody up for next week,
right.
I'm gonna get y'all's feelings on it.
Yeah.
Especially this guy, he's probably gonna love it anyway. He's a fan, Kanye fan.
Yeah, you know, die hard.
All right, man. So spinning out of Kanye's album, we have to talk about I guess we call them our big brothers and sisters of the podcast world.
Yes, sir.
The Breakfast Club has had some internal beef over Gucci Mane's interview.
Absolutely. People who don't know Breakfast Club, I mean Charlamagne, Envy, Angie. Charlamagne did an interview with Gucci, and this is just them two.
Burr.
You know,
Sorry.
yeah. So
I
icy.
throw that in there.
And Gucci Mane straight up, he just cursed out Envy and Angie. Like he just said,
Well, it was towards the end of his interview, right?
Yeah. It was a hour-long interview, but at the end he was just like, "That's why they ain't here. You know, they don't want none." He's like both of them.
He just told Charlamagne he'll slap the shit.
Yeah,
slap
like,
Envy, DJ Envy. What else did he say?
He called them like a bitch or something.
Yeah,
like that.
but it's also stemming from their beef. Not really want to say beef, but it's like an old interview back in the day that Angela Yee was saying things like was flirting with him a little bit. And it's like her early version of lip service, right? And they were flirting, and he took it to like, oh, she wants me, bro. Like, she's like, no, I don't, whatever. But that has evolved into this problem of he thinks he got banned from the Breakfast Club. So, how do you think this misunderstanding? Do you understand it? Do you care about it?
I don't even know. I can't even.
You're from Duval. Your mandatory was like Gucci.
I fuck with Gucci, but like this whole shenanigans with the Breakfast Club, I'm not really following it, so I can't really have input my 2 cents on it, to be honest with you. But like, I'm trying to figure out what was the hostility for in the first place. If he cussed him out at the end of the interview, they probably asked him some questions that probably he didn't want to be asked. He probably said initially, "Don't ask me these questions," and they probably still asked it, and he snapped on them. So I mean, unless I know what happened, I can't really be against Gucci on that.
I feel you on that. How do you feel? Since you know a little bit more, how do you feel about it?
I think it's hilarious. Just because, so the whole like shenanigans that happened is this happened at an interview, and then Charlamagne interviewed Gucci by himself, and then like he was like, well, that's why you're doing this interview by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because Envy's a pussy and all that stuff, and he started snapping on him, and it was hilarious to me, and I think it's great because like. The Breakfast Club, they've been pretty much our number one source of like hip hop interviews and news for a very long time.
On
So
the mainstream, yeah.
I grew up, and we talked about this a few weeks ago. My number one source of hip hop for a while was 106 in Park, like on BET. You know what I mean?
We lost them. Yeah.
As a kid, like before the internet was there, like this is how come home at like
3 o'clock. We in the front of the TV.
Yeah. Right. I mean, back from
AJ
and Free days,
I was watching for free.
AJ and Free, Tigger and Jalissa. Then it went to Terrence and Roxy. Like that was your number one source of hip hop. Even TRL, like that was the
music scene. Yeah,
how you saw hip hop have interviews and how you saw that. That all died, and then it just became Breakfast Club. There was no other source of like, who do you go to for hip hop interviews? Maybe Sway in the morning
after the blogs.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
the blogs weren't up to. There weren't no visual components to the blogs besides the pictures. And stuff.
Like podcasts essentially, like back in the day. But like video wise, the Breakfast Club has been like the most dominant source of interviews for the last 10 years. So I think it's hilarious because now they're starting to get called out on, and now people are starting to be like, yo, who the hell cares about, like, why y'all act so bougie? Like, why do I gotta come up to y'all like y'all the only platform? Like, there's so many other platforms.
Yeah, everybody has a platform now.
Like you got Breakfast Club, you got Sway in the Morning, you got Thursday Night School.
Yeah, facts.
You got Joe Budden Podcast.
You got Everyday Struggle.
You got so many out there. So it's just like I love when they get called out. DJ Envy got called out by another set of my homies, Deesa Samiro, a few months ago. So,
but that was more of them saying something about that man's wife.
But that was hilarious. So like my whole point is like, and they do a show where they roast people, and that's what they did it on. It wasn't that they were just like calling out this dude's wife, but their whole point is that's what y'all do on y'all show all the time. Like as radio guests, y'all be talking smack about people. Like,
and also
they have a segment called Donkey of the Day where they make fun of somebody every single day. So
and that's
like,
Charlemagne's thing.
Yeah. So like at the end of the day, like that's funny. I get it. Y'all do y'all radio stuff, but like that type of radio is dying down to where you got to bash people and gossip about people all the time. So you're gonna get called out.
Even the rumor report that Angela DE does is kind of crazy.
It's like, come on, man. That's just straight gossip now. So. I like it. I think it's hilarious just because Gucci is Gucci. You know, people were laughing. They're like, oh, the Gucci clone finally left, but like the real Gucci came back.
Oh, yeah, he did snap. So, man, before we get out of here, we're not going to get out right away, but we're going to get into your single, brother. So talk to us about the single and what we got popping. And we're going to continue with one more news bit. And then definitely tell us about your single, brother.
Definitely the song is titled Dedicated, you know, emphasis on the DED part. Basically, it's shout out to everybody who's dedicated their lives to their craft, to their art, whatever they, you put your life and time into. This song definitely goes out to you. Definitely came from the heart at a time where I thought about stopping music, you know what I mean? We just got to that point where, just wondering like, damn, like, should I keep going? This for me, like, what am I actually gaining out of this? But it's just like, I had to stop and think, like, I put too much time and effort into my craft, building it up to get to this point. Like, ain't no way I can stop right now, you know what I mean? I still got people looking, people, rooting for me, supporting. So this is a song dedicated to that, to them feelings, to my fans. I ain't gonna say fans, my supporters, my loved ones.
Your family, fam.
To my team, shout out to UMB, Lonely the King, and yeah.
All right, cool. Is this attached to a larger project? Or is this something? What's the next rollout for this?
After this, I really want to put it to a project. So, like, I really want to have an album titled Lonely the King. You know what I mean? A whole project to entail kind of like the same basis. I'm sitting on the EP right now that I still got to get work. So it might end up becoming a bigger part of that, or everything might just be separate. So we're just going to see where it rolls out after this. All
right. Before we get out of here, we're going to definitely get your socials, both of y'all. But definitely dedicated, emphasis on the DED. Let's get in. Long live the King Soul.
Yes, sir.
They asking why you always talk about your mama, cause she raised me. My pops too, and he was always at the station. That's probably why I'm used to switching locations. New night, new city, new faces. I'm home running cause I'm touching all my bases. Can't keep nothing in this life unless you make it. So I'm put my name on everything that I own. Man, I was drowning in the hurt, but now that pain is gone. I had to dig myself deep, I'm talking straight to the bone. And don't worry, baby, your king will be home soon. Cause I ain't road on road running. Tell him look up in the sky, watch the storm coming. It's biblical, I'm bringing fire and the brimstone. Long live the king, put that on my tombstone. Dancing on my ashes, I had to be reborn. I had to save myself and God gave me a coupon. Man, I admit I had cried for this. I won't quit, dedicated my whole life to this. I replay each day, I spend all night on this. And I pray, give thanks, my queen ain't counterfeit. Man, I admit I had cried for this. I won't quit, dedicated my whole life to this. I replay each day, I spend all night on this. And I pray, give thanks, my dogs ain't counterfeit. Yeah. Still you and me, for the day I end up in the casket, you feel? Is you and beat to the day that I die. Understand, we boys, yeah, we top of the line. We bring the noise every time, like we on the drum line. The wise words from my always stay on my mind. If you know better, do better. Now they see me as a go-getter, trendsetter. A young King Moose, and I ain't in the gold diggers. I don't chase these bitches, I barely chase my liquor. Really. So I'ma keep pushing till I see results. They ask who they favorite artist, I'm the default answer. I'm a character, nigga. Keep your bitch laughing, she said I'm hilarious, nigga. That's probably why she ride my dick like a chariot, nigga. Knocking down the walls, man, I'm breaking barriers, nigga. Man, I'ma keep pushing till I see results. They ask who they favorite artist, I'm the default. And I admit I had cried for this. I won't quit, dedicated my whole life to this. I replay each day, I spend all night on this. And I pray, give thanks, my queen ain't counterfeit. Man, I admit I had cried for this. I won't quit, dedicated my whole life to this. I replay each day, I spend all night on this. And I pray, give thanks, my dogs ain't counterfeit.
Once again, that's Soul, LLK Soul.
That was dope, man.
Dope with Dedicated. Definitely want to let y'all know, man, he's one of the dopest artists in Orlando who's doing something different. Like we were talking about earlier, Orlando is definitely a melting pot. Like I would not have known Ninja was out here until I walked in the building doing
You never know who you gonna meet.
Hip hop and stuff in a different way, and definitely attending to that Spanish culture, Spanish hip hop scene here in Orlando. So definitely want to thank you for coming out, brother, and definitely thank you, Soul, for coming in.
Yo,
you know,
shout out to DJ Spider, shout out to DJ Trinity D, shout out to Ninja. Appreciate y'all for having me. Much love, bro.
Of course,
happy to be here.
Of course. So before we get out of here, man, just want to tell you, ask you guys, where can they find you at, and just kind of word of advice, you know what I'm saying, for anybody out there who wants to come see you and kind of support you, what's your social medias and where can they check you out at?
You can find me on IG at Long Live the King with 3 I's and live.
It's hard to spell, bro. I'm playing.
It's too easy. It's Long Live the King with 3 I's and live. That's all you got to remember. And if you ain't got an IG, for those of you who like to stay off the matrix, whatever music site you listen to, whether it be iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, all that good stuff, you can type in LLK Soul and you'll find me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and you can find the same in Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We got the same name in all 3 platforms. It's Hip Hop in the Streets. And myself, I'm B-Boy Ninja. And Instagram, you can find me as Steve Ninja B-Boy.
All right, dope.
And out there, you can find all we're doing, all the projects we're doing.
Anything coming up real soon before we get out of here?
Yeah, we got a competition November 5.
Okay.
And it's going to be held down in Orlando Brewing. It's a MC battle, Spanish MC battle.
Really?
So if you coming, brush up on your Spanish, fam.
Right.
You won't understand what's going on.
You're
going to be able to go, ooh, when they're doing ooh. You got to ooh.
Listen, but that's one thing about hip-hop.
Yeah.
Because I know you don't understand the lyrics.
You feel the energy.
But
you hear the end, it rhymes with the last word he said.
Of course, yeah.
And that's why one thing I say that hip hop, it's international. You can understand it, even though you don't know the language. Because I sometimes I listen to somebody rapping in Japan and Japanese,
Korean, and
or whatever. But I hear them when they rhyme the words.
Yeah.
It's true. And I mean, if they end a bar with the word puta, that shit's fire.
Yeah,
that shit's fire.
That's all you need to know.
That's how I know. That's fire.
You hear that? You hear that? But that's not even the most disrespectful part. That's all I know. That's all I know.
That's lit.
No, and the flow, you can also feel the flow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll promote that as well. You might see me out there November 5th, Orlando Brewing.
Orlando Brewing, yeah.
Orlando Brewing.
It's called Martes de Galería. You can see it also in Instagram, Martes de Galería.
All right, cool.
Dope,
Martes
dope.
de Galería. Okay, that's Gallery of
That's
Tuesday.
Tuesdays,
Say gallery.
Gallery Every Tuesday.
See, I got it. See, thank you, baby. Thank you. You know who you were talking to.
I'm trying to get there.
There you go. Yeah,
we learned
in Spanish right now.
About to enter that competition.
You got bars?
I got bars, son.
In Spanish?
En Espanol.
In Espanol. Are you sure?
Bars in Espanol.
Not for that. What? Definitely, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Of course, it's Thursday Night School. You know where you can find us. Tell them where they can find us, Trinity.
You can find us everywhere on the Matrix, like my boy LLK will say.
We are on the Matrix.
We are on the Matrix. So we on Spotify, Google Play, Apple iTunes Podcasts. We are on YouTube as well. You can search us Thursday Night School, KNITE. We got about 32 episodes right now.
Yeah,
so
we're rolling deep, fam.
check them out. You know, we're going through strong this year. You can also follow us on the brand new Instagram where we'll be uploading clips. That's also Thursday Night School, KNITE School. You could also follow me on all the Matrix platforms as well.
You talking about Lonely the King is long. You got Thursday Night School.
We took the red pill, okay?
At DJ Trinity, that's at DJ TRINID. You can follow my boy DJ Spider the Dawn. Where at, bro?
I'm on the Matrix as well.
What?
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at DADON and also can follow the brand Fly at Night FLYATKNITE to get more about us. Also, Thursday Night School and all the definitely dope things we have coming for this year and the next.
Absolutely.
Until next time, boys and girls, this is Thursday Night School. Your boy DJ, Spider the Don, of course, with DJ
Trini D. They call me Trini D. This has been Thursday Night School. Thank y'all for tuning in. Shouts to our guests one time. Appreciate y'all.
One time for
Appreciate
Soul,
y'all.
one time for Ninja.
Shout out for UMB. Shout us out. We out here, baby.
Thanks for the invite.
Peace.
We out, baby.